Hey, what's good everyone? This is Matt, and in this video we will be doing another deck matchup, this time against Sky Striker. So Sky Striker is what appearing to be, at least at my local, is the most popular deck around, right? Ever since the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer came out, like from Burst of Destiny, I swear like everyone is playing Sky Striker nowadays, and Sky Striker is a really obnoxious deck. Like, it's only good because of Destroyer Phoenix and because of hand traps. Like, the main engine itself isn't that great. So yeah, I play this Sky Striker player. I 2-0 them, but some interesting shenanigans happen, especially in game two. Um, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So real quick, I am playing Gozen Match. So I mentioned in a previous video that I was gonna take out Gozen Match and for Ice Dragon's Prison for real life play, right? After having gone to a recent locals where there was a huge number of Sky Striker players and Tri Brigade, I felt like there's no way I can take Gozen Match out. Like, Gozen Match is so good, it just shuts down Sky Striker, it shuts down Tri Brigade, it shuts down Sword Soul, shuts down Flounders. This card is just like I don't know, probably one of the best floodgates in the current meta. So yeah, definitely gonna keep main decking two of these. These are just amazing, and I know it seems kind of silly because like, oh, he makes yet another deck matchup video where Gozen Match is the winning card. I mean, it's so good, right? Like, it should just reemphasize the fact that you should be running this card. I mean, yeah, like, I don't know. It's just every time it comes up, it's amazing. So anyway, so I believe I go first here, and this game is interesting because yeah, when did I roll? I'm going first because I opened the entire Dogmatika package in my hand, which is pretty funny. Like, I have Ecclesia, I had Fleur, I have Punishment, I have Nadir. Like, this is the weirdest hand I've ever started with. Like, it's been a while since I started with a hand this weird. But good news is that Ecclesia and Fleur de Lis can make Anaconda. So let's see how that happens. Alright, so normal summon. Ecclesia, I couldn't search anything because everything was already in my hand. Link to Artemis. Yes, Artemis can link because it's a level 4 spellcaster. Make Fleur de Lis. Anaconda. And we have Dragoon. Alright, so I could have played Nadir Servant to recycle Ecclesia back in my hand, but I decided I would rather hold this, not just for potential discard, but because next turn I might need it to send Entis and like to pop one of their cards. I mean, I might just discard it from Dragoon Negate, so I just felt like it was better to hold it here. But yeah, Goes in Match, Punishment, Dragoon. Like, these are 3 interruptions. This one's 2 pop. That's a floodgate. Like, I'm very skeptical if there's anything you could do to actually like break this board. So let's see what happens. Okay, so he tries to get some Sky Striker cards. As soon as I see the Hornet drones, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a Sky Striker matchup. I'm gonna immediately Goes in Match. So now he's locked into Dark Monsters. So he's gonna use this card. He's gonna special summon Ray, who is also a Dark, but now that he can only link into Darks, right? He normal summons Celestial, which is interesting. So that's another Dark. Links Celestial and the Hornet Drone into Zeke, which is kind of silly. It's like, what are you trying to do here? So it's possible he's trying to get an access code. Let's see if he has access code in his deck. He does, yeah. So access code is a Dark. So it's possible that he's trying really hard to get an access code, but I mean, with 3 monsters, I don't really see how that's possible. That's gonna happen, right? Because like if he tries to go into Kagari and Kagari recycle Hornet drones, he can't play it because he has monsters. And yeah, so I don't see how he can get to um, access code because Celine, which is a stepping stone access code, is a light, and he's locked to Darks because it goes in match. So he's gonna use Zeke to banish Anaconda. It's like, okay, whatever. And then he makes his own Anaconda. And at this point, I'm thinking, what are you gonna do with that? Because your Celestial is already in the graveyard, right? So let me check his deck. How many Destiny heroes does he have? He has Dasher, and that's it. Yeah. So this Anaconda is completely worthless, and yeah, he just surrenders. There's nothing you can do here. Like, he can't get the access code. Even if he could, I have punishment, right? Like if he gets to a point where he has enough to make a link 4, right? I have punishment on him, and yeah, this is just game. Like goes and match is like the freest one ever. All right, so let's talk about side decking. So for side decking um, against Sky Striker, definitely Secret Village, definitely Terraforming, definitely Harpies and Cosmic Cyclones, because I'm expecting to go second here, right? I would also run Pankratops because it's just hilarious, right? It's like a technically a pop. So I obviously take out the 3 Nadir Servants here. What else do I take out? I want to say I took out Skill Drain and Punishment. Yeah, I feel like some cards are a bit more important than others. Like, yeah, Punishment's a good card, but like I'd rather have, these other cards here. Yeah, so I was pretty sure I took out Skill Drain. And one last card I took out, what was it? Possibly a Solemn Judgment. Yeah, because I'm going second. Like, Solemn Judgment is still good because sometimes you want to just, like, Judgment their, like, normal summon, a Ray or whatever. Yeah, I believe this is my side deck. Yeah, okay. And honestly, this side deck is good for going first or second. I mean, going first, like, take out Pankratops for, like, probably the skill drain, or, yeah, like, take out Harpies for, like, going first, if I knew I was going for against Skystrike, I would take out Harpies and I would take out Pankratops, because these are better going second, whereas Cosmic is very solid going first as well. And then probably put back in Punishment and skill drain. Maybe the Judgment, honestly. Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah. I think this is what I did for side deck. All right, so let's get into game two. Game two is slightly more interesting, but so yeah, they do go first, and they kind of brick. Like they just draw 4 hand traps and triple tactics. Like this is why Sky Striker is such a dumb deck. Like they run like 15 or 18 hand traps, some absurd amount, and it's just like their entire thing is just like stalling until they get Ray, right? And it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's super weak. Like, I don't think it's good. Anyway, so I'm going to draw. So I get my goes and match. So this is already game, honestly. But, Red Eyes is a brick. Eagle Booster kind of bricky by itself. But I have Upstart and Soul Servant. That's all I really ever need, right? See, this is why Upstart is such a great card. It's just best card in your deck. So I'm going to go for, so she, okay, so this person actually played Ghost Bell to this Soul Servant. So he's actually retarded. I think this just confirmed it, right? So I don't get to stack Rod, but I still get to draw a card. And then I'm just going to play Harpies. And then I'm going to grab Eternal Soul just to thin my deck, and I'm going to sit on Goes and Match, right? Because he's a Sky Striker player. He literally can't do anything into Goes and Match. So I normal Rod. He Veilers. Okay. Attack for 16. Link into Artemis. And at this point, like, I'm going to use Eternal Soul to recycle back Rod, right? So he's going to draw again. Oh, Destiny, Fusion Destiny. As soon as I saw that, I immediately Eternal Soul, because I want to get this Artemis off of the field, like, ASAP, right? So he's going to tribute to pop the field spell, which is a bizarre choice. Like, he should have popped Eternal Soul. I mean, you'll soon see that it won't matter, right? And then, so he goes to Graveyard for the next standby phase. Alright, now check out what I'm about to draw. Called by the grave, baby. So standby phase, I'm just going to say goodbye, Destroyer Phoenix. Dude, I don't think I've said this before, like, because I know I've said, like, oh, Upstar's the best card in the deck. It is, but Called by the Grave is my favorite personal card. Like, it's such a good card. I love Called by the Grave. I wish they could bring it back to 3, at the very least 2, because of how many freaking hand traps there are. And the thing is, like, so many hand traps, like Imperm and Nibiru and Gamma, can just ignore Called by the Grave. And in fact, Ghost Bell counters Called by the Grave. So Called by the Grave isn't even that strong, like, if you think about it. But when you get it, it's just, like, so satisfying to have Called by the Grave. It's like, Alright, so he ashes my Rod, and he uses, since he couldn't bring back Destroyer Phoenix, he brings back Dasher, which is a 2100 beater. He ashes my thing there, and I just end phase. Upstart Goblin, I get 1,000. He draws an Imperm. Dude, seriously, like, like the Sky Striker core is just, you know, yeah. So I set Cosmic Cyclone. Oh look, another Ash. So he normal summons Ash, and it's kind of weird why he does that. So I immediately goes a match, but my feeling, and I think my hunch is correct, is the reason he normal summoned Ash is because he either wants. No, he can't go in Anaconda because Destroyer Fiend is already in graveyard. He wants to go into Hulk, right? Because Ash is a tuner, right? So he can go Hulk, Hulk, then bring another monster to go into. Actually, he can't. Yeah, yeah. So, goes in match was not face up, right? But so in his view, these two go into Hulk. Hulk brings a tuner. Those three go into Celine. Celine revives. This is all through Valor. So the tuner you'll bring is Valor, and then Celine will revive Valor, and then go forward into Accesscode. So that's his plan. So I immediately goes in match and like, no, you're not doing that. So he ditches his fire, and he's locked in the darks. All right, back to me. So I get another rod. He imperms it again. Dude, this is just getting obnoxious. Luckily, Dasher is 1,000 defense. And then at this point, because Cosmic Cyclone banished this. Another Widow Anchor. He draws 2 from Celestial. There's a Hornet Drones, but Hornet Drones is a dark. So he literally can't go into anything. So he just sets, passes. I draw Magician Souls. Anaconda. So, did I send Dark Magician Girl? I sent Dark Magician. So I should have actually, before Anaconda, I should have revived Dark Magician with Eternal Soul, just to get an extra body on the field. In the grand scheme of things, it won't matter, but yeah, I should have done that. I don't know why I didn't. Dragoon. Dragoon's gonna pop. Attack, attack. This game's over. He's gonna engage. I'm just gonna. So he engages. I negate because I know that was his one card in his hand. Like, so in my view, that's like the only play he can make. He tries to Shark Cannon my Dark Magician, but then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna revive that Dark Magician. Thank you very much. And then Rod is gonna recycle back. Yeah, this game is over. Like, so yeah, goes a match, free wins against Sky Striker. So is Secret Village. Last time I played against Sky Striker, I think I just opened Secret Village and Vanilla Dark Magician, and then it just passed, and then they just couldn't do anything. They just lost, right? Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? I like the Solemn cards because, well, obviously, like, you're dealing with a lot of back rows, so Judgments are nice, but I like to Solemn Strike and Solemn Judgment their links, right? So, like, if Ray links away, like, say Ray activates her effect, like her quick effect to go into a link, you just Solemn Strike that, and then they don't get a link and Ray's in the graveyard, right? They have 3 Rays in their deck, like, or if they normal Ray, just Solemn Judgment it. Like, what are they gonna do about it, right? Like, without Ray, they can't play. Like, I guess they can Hornet Drones, but it's just like Hornet Drones is a 1 of, Ray is a 3 of, right? I guess Engage is a 1 of that can be somewhat searched slash recycled through their field spell or whatever. But it's, yeah, I don't know. I just play these. They're really good. So yeah, I don't know. Sky Striker, not that scary. I mean, ever since they started running Destroyer Phoenix, they have a little bit more life in them, but Dragoon is just stronger than Destroyer Phoenix. So if you get Dragoon on the field and they have Destroyer Phoenix, you would just win. Like, I also played a Sky Striker, I think 2 locals ago, where my Dragoon versus his Destroyer Phoenix. You'll never guess what happened. Dragoon wins. Yeah, Dragoon is king, not Destroyer Phoenix. Destroyer Phoenix is for chums. Anyway, yeah. So that was the matchup, and um, I don't know. Game 2 was interesting because we were both like super rigged. Well, I mean, I had plays, but he just had like a billion hand traps, and like that's the thing about hand traps is like it's like you need 1 hand trap per turn for you to stall out the game. Whereas like imagine if they had a floodgate, like I don't know, like Imperial Order. Well, I guess they shouldn't play Imperial Order in a Sky Striker deck, but like any floodgate, right? Like goes in match, for example, was 1 card that literally like ruined every one of his turns. Whereas like he needed like 3 different ashes, a Valor, 2 imperms, a Ghost Spell. Like he needed so many like different hand traps just to like stall. whereas like I just completely locked him out with just one card, right? Goes to match. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, Sky Striker's not a good deck. I mean they're like I don't know a top 8 deck at best, in my opinion. Haven't really seen one win any locals or big tournaments in a while, and even with Destroy Phoenix, I don't think that's actually going to change. Like maybe one creeps into a top 4 spot, but only because of Destroyer Phoenix, not because of the actual Sky Striker engine. Because Sky Striker as a deck, just not that good. I don't know. I just haven't. It's just countered so easily. Like too many weaknesses. Lacks consistency. So yeah. Yet more reasons to run Goes a match. All right. Thank you all for watching. Later.